All right, here with Coach Snelling. Coach, we're getting ready to get started with the outdoor season. A pretty successful indoor season, certainly some strides made. Let's talk about the outdoor season as this thing gets underway a little bit. What are your expectations overall? Some of the big picture things you guys have going on.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot lately with, kind of the positive ending to the indoor season, a lot of the momentum that we have, and just the fact that we're a better outdoor team, just with the events and changes from indoor to outdoor, and so the expectations are pretty high. I think in terms of the history, there's things that can be done that it's been 15 years since we've seen. In terms of placing at the MAC championship and point totals, overall performances for the year. So it's fairly exciting to talk about with the team, and that's really what we've been focused on right now.
Sure, and I know you guys, and certainly track and field is a sport that can be measured very well because you're looking at distances and you're comparing historically, and you guys have some potential, as you mentioned, to put up some numbers that maybe haven't ever been put up before in BG history in a number of events.
Yeah, it's exciting to look at the potential in terms of the impact we could make on the top 10 list at BG. I mean, we should be all over that this year. Every event we should have a pretty significant impact in, to the point where we have the opportunity to set a lot of school records outdoors. And then you get into the team side of things, and so yeah, it's just, again, exciting to talk about.
Sure. Let's break it down a little bit by positions and kind of events, and let's start with the sprinters. Obviously, Jeanette Pettigrew kind of anchors that as a senior and that sort of thing, but talk about your sprint group.
Yeah, Jeanette is definitely the anchor with how she finished her indoor season, MAC champion in the 60, runner-up in the 2. Fifth-year senior, she's put a lot of time and effort into this program and herself, and it'd be exciting to send her out, this outdoor season with some really good performances. And between the 100, the 200, and the long jump and the relays, she's going to have a huge impact, on our overall, team performance. A little bit lesser known at this point, Alicia Arnold. You saw her name a bit on some of the performance lists, but she's in a great position to have an impact in pretty much those same events. The 1, the 2, the long, and the relays. So the two of them are going to be a big part of our success. This outdoor season.
Yeah, and we've talked about kind of, you mentioned the relays. The development of the depth of the program, and I got to think that relays is an area where you would really see that depth start to show a little bit.
Absolutely. So you started to see it last year with some of the school records, both indoor and outdoor, and you'll see that trend continue, this season here. So absolutely, it's a good measure of our depth, and success as a whole that we're starting to have here. That's what it's coming from. With our second recruiting cycle here, we're able to fill more holes. Ability level overall getting better, and just covering more events.
Good. Let's move to distance. Maybe some kids we've heard a little bit more about because they've had cross country season as well, and then indoor. What are you seeing out of your distance kids?
Yeah, you did see these kids all year long. So it's their third season this year. But names like Jasmine Redmond and Andrea All, they're kind of the anchors, in our distance group right now. Jasmine in the 5 and the 10. She had nice performance at the indoor MAC championships in the 5K. 17:07 there. Picking up a point. I think she'll take the next step, have more of an impact. Andrea in the steeple, she's already proven herself there. 7th last year as a redshirt freshman, and just has a ton of upside here this year. They both are getting to the point where we're talking about trying to qualify for the NCAA first round is not crazy anymore. Then you go down to the 1500, and you have true freshman Rachel Durbin, who was in the mix indoors, put up some pretty exciting performances. And then Maria Meredith, just one of our experienced, for us, one of our veterans. At this point, they'll both contribute, in that area.
Sure. And then we head to your throwers and your field event kids, and obviously over the last year or so, that's been where the strength of this program has come from, and just talk about those kids.
Yeah, Coach Conley's done a great job in that area, and Brooke's the headliner, of course. Anytime you're an All-American, you get that title. So, she had a really good indoor season, especially when you compare it to the previous one. Just missed out on qualifying to nationals in the weight. Obviously, hammer's her thing; that's her specialty, and it's going to be a pretty special season for her.
Yeah.
But the throws group is more than that. At this point, you have a really exciting lineup. The potential to have 3 or 4 throwers at the NCAA first round. In the hammer is not crazy. And then you have girls like Mackenzie Wheat, in the shot, 4th best freshman in the country this year indoors in the shot. So you're seeing, again, the depth kind of happen there and covering more event areas and just being better.
Yeah. And I know it's talked about a lot in track and field circles, but the MAC as a whole, when you talk about the throws, one of the toughest conferences in the country, I mean, bar none. There aren't many, and you guys are still able to do some pretty strong things there.
Yeah, I don't know if that gets enough attention or not, but the MAC as a whole is one of the best, mid-major conferences in the country in terms of track and field. And the throws in particular are just extremely strong. So when you have a true freshman come up and score a couple points in the shot put, that is extremely meaningful. And just to be able to put that many points up, I think what we're going to do outdoors in the throw is going to be very impressive.
Good. Let's talk about Brooke a little bit more. Obviously, first team All-American a year ago as a sophomore. Had the top distance in the East region and all that kind of stuff. MAC outdoor track and field athlete of the year. What are your expectations for her? How do you get her to the? I mean, the next step is national champion, right? I mean, and how does she get? I know those are high expectations, but how does she get there?
Well, again, Coach Conley's done a fantastic job, and Brooke is just a hyper-motivated student athlete. No matter what she's doing, whether it's her nursing degree or the hammer, she's given it everything she possibly can. So the plan that the coach has laid out for her and her ability to follow that to a T, puts her in a really exciting place this outdoor season, where it's just a handful of girls in the country that we're talking about that can do what she can do. And we'll see what happens on the day. That's what our sport's about. The regular season in a lot of ways is a whole lot less meaningful for us. It's at the national championships. What can you do on the day?
Yeah. So obviously Brooke last year was the only one that qualified for NCAA East Regionals and then obviously the Nationals, but I think you guys feel like you have an opportunity to have more kids qualify. I mean, we're looking at, as we mentioned, Jeanette Pettigrew, who won the MAC Indoor Championships in the 60, and just talk about how you guys feel that could work out for you this year.
Yeah, I think that's a good measure of where the program is going. You're talking about one qualifier last year, to the NCAA first round, and the fact that we could have 10 qualifiers this year. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of performances to be had and a long way to go. But on paper, that's not crazy. So it's exciting to think about, for the coaching staff, for the girls, and again, I think it's just a sign of where we're going here.
Sure. Let's transition a little bit, looking at the schedule coming up this year, and just what you guys have, what you're excited about as far as meets that you've got coming up, and kind of your philosophy a little bit on how you schedule.
Yeah, we schedule around our championships. In terms of the MAC championships, NCAA first round, national championships, everything is built around them. So we start off the season at NC State next week. That'll be one of the best meets in the country. Great opportunity for us to go out, open up the outdoor season on a really, really positive note. Put ourselves in a great position on the MAC list right off the bat, and on the East Region list right off the bat. From there, we'll go to Ohio. They're hosting the MAC Championships this year, so this is our first opportunity to really see their facility, get on it, and just have that experience. From there, we go to Cincinnati in the All-Ohio Championships. Just great competition, in the state, going head-to-head and just seeing, what we can do against everybody else, Kentucky from there, a great facility, heading south, warmer weather, great competition, just another great experience, great opportunity for the girls. Then from there, we'll split squads a bit in terms of, we'll have one group that'll go up to Hillsdale and hit that meet. Then the throwers will go over to Ashland. It's such a strong meet, they need to have that experience. Then we'll finish things up here with our annual dual meet against Toledo. So Friday, May 2nd, we'll be out here getting after it and seeing if we can win again.
Sure. Yeah, 4 p.m. That's the only opportunity for the Falcon fans to see you guys at home. Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess Toledo's going to come in with a little chip on their shoulder because you guys knocked them off last year. Really tight meet. It was fun. It was exciting. It was a cold day. Hopefully this year we're a little bit warmer. But, came down to the final meet, and just talk about the opportunity for our fans to come out and see you guys compete.
Yeah, it is the only outdoor opportunity to do that. We'll have some other things kind of going on as well in terms of it'll be our senior recognition. So we'll have our 5 seniors out there, and it'll be great to recognize them and have a decent crowd out there, to do that. We'll do the fastest kid in Bowling Green again, so that'll be open to the community. Children come out, can run a 100-meter race and just have the experience and have fun. But it's important to us to win that meet. It's in a dual setting. It's all about competition. It's all about the one-on-one, and I just have to beat this next girl. And I think that's a nice way to kind of end our regular season before we go to the MAC Championships and have to do that again.
Yeah. Good. Well, Coach, we're looking forward to it. Just about probably 9-10 days out from getting the outdoor season underway. So good luck, and we'll be in touch.
Thanks. Roll on.